I am joined by a young couple whose example of marriage is one that I thought we should sit and learn a little bit about. This is the love season. So, sitting with us is Reverend Anwar and Minister Latoya Johnson. Welcome to the set, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Glad to be here.
I'm always so excited to have people who I admire sit with me and, of course, share stories of their lives with the intent to help somebody else. And as I mentioned, your example being a young married couple, not only a young married couple, but a Christian, saved, Holy Ghost filled, knowing Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior, couple is very important. That is very important. We need examples like you out there. So we're going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to see how we can inspire someone else. Love is a beautiful thing, isn't it? It is.
Wonderful.
Love is a beautiful thing, and I love love.
Yes.
Yes, Rev. I hear that. So, as I always do, a little bit of background. Years ago, during the Christmas season, you know, the mall back in my day was the place that we used to be. And this couple, even though I knew them briefly, like, I knew Anwar from church, but I didn't really know Troy. But I'm grateful to God that He has connected us in this manner.
Yes.
So, first question, tell us the day, if you can remember, the day that you met this young lady. What kind of day was that?
I told this before, and I just told my sons this. I met my wife when I was 12.
What?
Our auntie, Palm, Reckley, used to call her Cuddy Palm.
Yes, yes,
Me and Cameron, all of us, we were close. And they had a cousin, and I always used to say, I think I saw her once, we had a party, and I said, who's that? And then he said, that's my cousin. Joy." Yeah.
Wow.
I told Cuddy Palm, we was having a youth concert on the park, and I said, Cuddy Palm, bring your niece, man. Let me see her. Right? So we brought up. Yeah, so she brought up, and she just said, this is my niece, Toya. I only stared at her, and she stared at me, and I walked away, and that was it. And then fast forward, I used to see her around Kingsway campus because her brother went there as well and all. And then one day, and I asked her brother, I said, hey, give me your sister number, and he blurted out. So he's one of the, I think he has a part in us being together. And he gave it to me, and I sent her one text. I said, have a day as beautiful as you. And then fast forward it again. We end up working side by side. She worked in the bank and I worked in the shipping company. And she wouldn't admit, but she asked me to go to lunch. She said, you want to go to lunch one day? I said, no problem. You ain't gonna ask me that now. I can say no. And from there, and that's how it was. And I think that was from 12 to about 18, 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I can ask Toya anyway. Toya, give us your side of the story. Okay, how did this all come to be? When did you notice that he was close to you?
I did not notice at the age of 12.
Okay.
Okay? But I did notice maybe, like he said, around 18, 19.
Okay.
I would go with my aunt. Like he said, I would see him looking at me. And I may just look away and say to myself, is he looking at me?
Mm-hmm.
But I paid it no attention. And just as he said, one random day, a school day, my brother, who was driving in a car, by the way.
Okay, now how old was it?
I was, no, we were adults.
This was 19.
So maybe 19.
This was their last year or second year in high school. I
Right.
mean, yeah, coming out of high school.
And so he was dropping his brothers to school.
Right.
Okay.
And my brother, he shouted to my brother in the room.
Hey, where to him, man? Give me a number.
How could,
Blah, blah, blah.
how could my brother shout my number across the street?
I know.
And just as he said, I got this text message. I was already at work. I got this text message. I'm like, who is this? Oh, this is Anwar. Okay. We chatted a little bit. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to end the conversation now. I have to go and do people's jobs, right? And so I just ended up with like, one day we should do lunch. thinking that
So
would
you
be a
did.
topic for another day.
Okay.
You just open the
And
door.
what did I say that for, Shireen? He responded right back. Let's
man.
go.
Let's go.
What
Let's
I
go.
have noticed already, Rev knew is a man who knows his mind.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because from if it's the age of 12 that he identified, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna be it.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants, and that's admirable.
Sure.
Our question to you: you took Sawyer's invitation as being an actual invitation to Toya was just being cordial, and if I am to think like who I am, a girl, she's just being literally cordial and saying maybe we should continue this conversation a bit later. Okay, that's what you're trying to say, and that's what I get from that. But question to you is, what did dating look like back then?
Back then.
Yeah, back then. What was dating like? Would you say?
Well, for me and Toya, we kind of simple. So we love to go to the movies. Like to go for dinner. We like to go to the fry by comfort and sit down and watch the cruise ships. Simple stuff. What else?
We like to go to the airport.
Oh yeah, and watch the
Planes
planes.
take off.
And
Yeah.
even for my sons now, every time she works out there, every time we go in to pick up from work, Daddy, stop! So I have to stop and watch every plane take off. So yeah, dating back then, but it was really simple. It wasn't. We didn't. It wasn't complicated. No.
Keep that in mind when you live it now. How
You mean for us or generally speaking? It's rough. And here's the reason why. Social media kind of depicts how things should be instead of you creating it. You understand? You create it how you want it to be. Social media have the standards where you need to have this, you need to do this, you need to go shopping, you need to whatever. And you're watching that. And that all they're doing is brainwashing you. Whereas in sitting down having a nice conversation could be a good date. You know, sometimes me and Doris pull up to Little Caesars and get a pizza and we be driving and talking and laughing and you know, that's considered a date. You understand? So that's all it is right there.
nowadays, like you mentioned, we do seem to set a standard that can be unreachable. And so many people try so hard to try to maintain the standard, or to get to the standard, and then try to maintain that standard. So, and what do you do when you marry?
You're married at 24. 24. Yeah. Oh, you just look at the marriage certificate. It's 24.
We turned 24.
Yeah, we turned 24 like a month after.
Okay.
So we got married in August. And October, our birthdays are in September.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, how much days was it? 18?
18.
18 days.
I'm over here.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, Toya, did you always imagine yourself being a young bride?
I did not imagine myself being a young bride.
Okay.
I had literally just finished college. I sat my last exam in April, and I didn't expect that I would be married in a few months. And Ma had to post in January. And so I said, okay, wow, maybe we'll get married in December, the Christmas time. And Ma says, no.
6 months.
And you know, we always have these plans.
Yes.
You know.
Is it that way for men? Do they take off as they go in life, or do they do anything? How's it?
Well, biologically speaking, women mature faster cases if you're looking at that aspect. So if a man is not in tune with God or know or have an inclination where he wants to be, then he just basically, how can I say, just go through the motion. Okay, I have a good job, I'm doing well, whatever. We'll just see how it goes. And a lot of men, when I talk to them and I try to encourage them to get married, well, I want my house first. Well, I want this first. Well, I want that first. And then I would take on the woman. So I would say to them, when me and Toy got married, we didn't have no house. We had an apartment, thank God. My parents had an apartment we could go in and what's not. And we built together. That's the beauty of marriage and that's the beauty of a relationship. You build. So men don't tend to have a checklist as women do. But I can tell you, a man knows what he wants, and if he wants you, he will get you, and he will do what he has to do. Okay, that's one. Number one. Number two, if you see they slacking and they think, I mean, chances are they're not sure if I could settle down with this woman for the rest of my life, or she could be the mother of my children. So that's what it is. And the bottom line is, if he's not in tune with God, or God is not ordering his steps, then it's going to be like confusion, and you're going to be like the mother said. Right. Because you in tune with God fully. This person might appear that they was in full tune with God like that, but the actions don't show. Yeah.
Put God in our
Yeah.
each other. He's the head of that, actually. He had to slap me up at that time. It was so bad that I misconstrued the instructions that he gave to me concerning this person.
Yeah.
And I checked with before. At that time, God said, education. Okay? God was thinking, okay, so I'm going to put on him for a little while.
You see, as a human and as a female, we think that your thing that your biological clock ticking and all of that, and you, well, God, this what it is, but this what it is, and you try to help God, you can't help God.
They teach us that the older women are all giving you pressure, saying, you have to have children at a certain time, and then they kind of put a pressure indirectly or directly on young women. So in our mind, sometimes we are thinking, okay, so we need to be this, do this by this age, okay? And a lot of times we work why you'll see us making sure that our high school people in college, and we aspire so hard to have that job, because next we have to do all of this before the biological clock ticks out. Okay, so you find us in that mode sometimes. Correct. Tell us, how did you know Toya was the one? Was it from the age of 12? Did you know right then? Was it love at first sight?
At the age of 12, you don't really know what love is. You probably just see a pretty girl, that's that. But it was more so when we met at about 18, 19, and we started to get to know each other. And we would always say, sons, this is how you pray for the woman that you would want. Intelligent, God-fearing, beautiful, all of that. And I would pray that same way, and lo and behold, she just showed up, and I just saw her. And even when we was dating, I went through a time where I wasn't working. And what really touched me, she would work. She wasn't making much, but at the end of her pay, she would turn and say, "This 100 for you." And from that, I say, "Boy, a woman with me, I ain't really working, and she can take out of her own and bless me." Boy, I say, "Boy, I gotta marry this woman now." And when I got sorted out and got the job in the bank and started to work, I said, "Boy, you gotta get this woman."
Question: how did you know, or what happened to make you know that when he asked you, you would say yes? At what point did you know that it was a yes for you? Maybe that.
After we only dated for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Almost. But in that span, there wouldn't be. I mean, there wasn't anything, Shireen. I wouldn't ask for anything, but he was just always so thoughtful.
Yes.
I remember I had a situation where I needed to finish my last semester of my degree, and I realized, oh my God, I'm not sure if I can finish this because I have other commitments. And I remember Anwar called. He was like, "Hey, I just went to your school and I paid your balance." And Shireen, I sat at that desk. I was to work. I could still see that I was to work. It was around 3 o'clock, and I sat at my desk and I cried because I kept telling God, if this man is who you said. And I sat at that desk, Shireen, and I cried and I said, "God, oh, Shireen, I get it. And that along with just coupled with all the other things, we would talk about marriage, and it didn't come from a place where, okay, I just want her to get married. It was genuine, it was sincere, and with him having his parents, of course, that were married for years, you know, I just felt safe.
Would you suggest that persons who want to eventually become married find marriage mentors? What do you
Yeah.
think of that?
We alluded to that fact off the record when we was
Yeah.
talking, you know. I mean, who you aspire to be like,
Yeah.
you hang around. It's even in the prophetic, you hang around a company of prophets, you'll find yourself prophesying. So you hang around married people, you as a woman, your mindset will change, and you you're not born a wife, you become a wife.
Yes.
So you could watch and say, okay, let me see how Toya is move and operate. So so when it's my time, and when it's my time to get married, I can flow in the same way. I watched my old man. I watched the way that he handled my movie. Yes, you can have trials, you can have arguments and what's not. But I see how we operate in that. And when sometimes we have arguments and what's I say, wait, my old man is act like this. Let me do it like this. I don't raise my voice. I just have it. Listen, I say what I have to say, and that's that. Women are very emotional.
Yes,
That's
we
their
are.
biggest defense. We are strong. We could fight. We could knock you out and whatever. But their biggest defense is their mouth and they're emotional. Don't take it on. Just watch your response. Thank you. That's my
Listen to
5
me.
cents.
I see that now.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my sisters were talking sometime, and we were talking after my dad died.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about how for some reason it was always that my mom was in that confident vibe.
Yeah.
Who she added with?
Yes.
Dad done talk, he done said his thing, that's
That's
the
it.
end of that.
Smart man. That's it
I
right
get it
there.
now. Okay, man, so you
Yes.
hear that. Take that advice. Okay?
Yes.
I lived it. Now that I know, Rev just brought it to my attention.
Just
That's
to be,
exactly.
let me just add a little bit. You ain't going nowhere. If you can sit there, if you sitting there rowing all day,
Okay.
there's no solutions going to happen.
Uh-huh.
So you can hack up and get mad, move a few chairs around, and I'll say, hold on, this the case, this the scenario. When you done calm down, then we can talk. That's all. And the men, if you're facing that, go in the next room, go sit down, go watch the game for 1-2 hours, and when you come back, everything will be all right. Take it from me.
Listen, I was going to ask a little later for some practical points, but Rev, being the prophet that he is, he done foresee that was to come. So he's sending the hint or giving you the hint right now. Okay, so men, jot that down. Okay, so and I guess young people's understanding of how marriage works
Mm-hmm.
is one of the reasons why they seem to last so long. I was going to ask you, that was another one of my questions. It seems young marriages on the whole have been challenged recently, in the recent years, but young marriages don't seem to last as long as the generations of marriages to where the couple got me older than that, and people who've been married for long periods of time. Why do you suppose?
Take it, take.
I think, going back to what I said, the social media, I think that's the biggest detriment of it. I'll start with the women. Well, I'll talk about women. I don't know if it's that women believe that what you see on TikTok, what you see on Facebook, what you see on Instagram, oh, my husband is supposed to do this, this, and this. My husband should buy me a car every year. Or it could be a scenario where God is putting us through a test. Are we going to pass the test? A lot of us don't make it through the test. We can't see past the test. We don't want to work on this marriage. We don't want to work together anymore. This man is the problem. This woman is the problem. I'm going to leave it. And so I think we have a lot of commitment issues.
I was going to say that you're in the spirit.
Commitment issues.
Yes.
And then, yes, we do marriage
Yes.
counseling prior. But just as you and Rev said, once you get married, you stay with these married person. No, you don't talk your business to this person, that person, but you have a trusted advisor or trusted mentor. And you say, okay, hubby and I are going through this test. Could you pray with us? You don't have to go into the details, Shereen. Just ask them to pray. Genuinely pray, but commit. That's how you do it.
And to piggyback on that, that word commitment has been replaced with convenience. A lot of people get married just for convenience. Okay, you're doing good, I'm doing good. Let's just get married. And there's nothing no foundation
Okay.
on this marriage. So you just getting married for convenience. Ain't no foundation with your marriage is on God
Yeah.
or your marriage, well, I should say God. That's a leave it right there. So when, like she said, the storms come, you just say, man, I into this. I can go my way, you go your way. That's that. And that's what happens.
Life man doesn't help him on a rock.
That's right.
Take somebody who's been done
Son, yeah.
frivolous things,
Yeah.
things
Indeed.
that are not, they have no weight at all.
Yeah.
Rev would have mentioned sometime in an earlier conversation that his wife kind of bought the gift
Yeah.
of prophecy to his life, his gift, that is. Now share with us that story. Tell us that
Well,
story.
growing up in the church of God, it's one way. You come to church, clap, sing, yeah, the preacher preach, that's it. Ain't nothing else. So lunchtime they would have prophetic services and she would say, come go with me, man. And for a while she persuaded me and I got interested and I didn't know too much about it, only based on Elijah and those different days of what they did. But and the lady, she called me out, she prophesied and said some stuff to me, and I said, okay, well, I'll take that because I don't think I've never been prophesied to like that before. And over time, I just got piqued my interest. And as anything, I started to read upon it. I started to watch videos, and I started to, and from there, I don't know when this whole thing happened. I don't know, but I believe Toya saw the purpose. She was already looking at spiritual eyes. She already saw the potential of what I could have been, what I will be to this very day. So I thank God for her. That's how I know this marriage is ordained by God.
As a woman of God, having that same type of wisdom to help steer your husband, or I don't know if you were married at the time, steer, yeah?
Yeah, engaged. She's
Okay,
almost
okay.
there.
Well, steer him into the direction of the higher calling, which is in Christ Jesus. Something that, as women, we carry the womb. So things are birthed on the inside of us. So when you get that feeling that, okay, this is what the Lord wants my husband to be, how do we kind of push that forward?
I'll tell you where we go wrong first. I think we believe that I'll just tell him, James, you should do this, you should do that. Like we start to just
Nike.
Yeah.
Yes.
You should know it should be done this way.
Yeah.
No, not that way. This way. And then you realize that's not working. That's not working. And I remember the Holy Spirit telling me things only change when you come to me. You can't change anyone else. You need to come to me. And Shireen, I remember okay, Lord. And I would go and I would pray. And I just pray and I'm like, okay, God, this is my husband. I have to pray for him. It's our job to pray for each other. If you want things to change, you need to pray, And I just prayed, and you would just see God would work on just different things. If there's an argument, if there's something you want to happen in the marriage, you just pray and just let God fix it, right? And then I think too, we feel like if there's, like you said, an argument, we're at each other, but then you don't realize who's gonna be the softer person. That's your job. Your job is to be that soft voice. You're the helpmate. So when your husband comes home, you actually want him to be excited to come home. Some wives, maybe their husbands aren't interested in coming home because they don't know what they're gonna come home to. And so your house needs to be a safe place. And so I feel like it's my job to make sure my husband wants to come home because it's a safe haven, And then the way that you speak to your husband. We nag a lot. Of course, we're emotional. We want things done right away. I need you to lift this. And then you realize, okay, God, no, you said, a soft answer turns away wrath.
Man.
And so you go and you rub his beard and say, James, you don't have to ask anything else. Sure, what do you want done? And it's just a little.
Let me tell you how I deal with you. I pray to God. I say, God, you creator, you deal with her. And then when I look, she's coming. I'll see you change. That's how I do it.
Recently on social media, women had this soft life.
Oh,
Okay? She was on her bed laughing.
yeah.
Soft voice, giving the soft plate. It's actually what the of women and men of God, such as prayer, understand the real meaning of the song. Not something that you receive from me, something that we create.
That's right.
That's right.
That's good.
That's right.
I like that.
Oh my
Because
God.
Shireen,
Like that.
if you're the only one with the sauce, when does your husband get a chance to have this? When you get upset when other person step in, you don't want someone to step in. But if you're the one with the soft side, you know, I hear a lot of men say who can divorce or remarry. I did everything. My wife was just, she just did that. So it's a give and a take.
Yeah.
I hope you're paying attention. This, it's been good. This is solid foundation here. What's put out there is what we take as reality. It is not so. Okay? Take the opportunity to sit down with men and women such as these to get an understanding of the reality, okay, of what marriage is all about.
That's right.
Okay? It's not what you think it is. A lot of times it's not what you think it is. Sit down, find yourself a marriage mentor, and sometimes it doesn't have to be an older couple. Okay? This couple has been married for 11 years. And look at the wealth of knowledge that we are receiving today. Okay?
And not to cut, we do have marriage sessions. We have a group of married friends that we meet, we discuss, we play games, we have food. You have to be around like-minded people as well.
If you want to be something, if you want to go somewhere, find someone who sees a journey, a mentality such as this is the foundation of having a successful marriage. Take the opportunity to sit down with men and women such as these to get an understanding of the reality, okay, of what marriage is all about.
Right.
Okay? It's not what you think it is. A lot of times it's not what you think it is. Sit down, find yourself a marriage mentor, and sometimes it doesn't have to be an older couple. Okay? This couple has been married for 11 years. And look at the wealth of knowledge that we are receiving today. Okay?
And not all. We do have marriage sessions. We have a group of married friends that we meet, we discuss, we play games, we have food. So that is correct. You have to be around like-minded people.
Older examples of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that sharing company or that public inspection, you know, just being around a bunch of other married couples, just being married, enjoying love and enjoying marriage. What are your takes on that? How do you feel that should be expressed nowadays?
Hard to say. I like to show off. Like if I see a group of men, I'll grab her and hug her and kiss her. This is what I get. You don't know what I go through. So, but I believe, you know, your husband or wife love languages. Okay. Me, I'm big on. I could do that. My wife ain't so much of it. She's more shy, but she will embrace it to say, okay, this is what I like to do. You like to hug me up and hold my hand and walk around and display and show me off. But you know, she isn't like that. But you just have to know your love language.
Y'all married? Y'all barely don't sit. Y'all don't even sit close together.
So why though? Because it's taboo. It's taboo. See, they're not gonna talk about that. You ain't supposed to kiss. You ain't supposed to do whatever. But you're married. You have the license to do that. This is what God has created and instituted. So come on, man. I can do it.
I shouldn't see unmarried couples giving me that example.
Yes.
Okay? It should be married couples showing me, experiencing things. I should be married. But I have to see that from a married couple, knowing that that's the only way that I am going to be able to have my customer and hold my hand up. Because that's it.
Right.
Or give me a kiss on the cheek or a kiss on the lip or a kiss
That's
on the
right.
forehead. I can only be married in order to be able to experience it. That should be an example for you. What would be your advice to dating and potential marriage and dating and ensuring that marriage and not even
Okay. For the single. Okay. So for the women, we have to ensure that we work on ourselves first, right? We are once we pass those three steps, then we ensure that we're able and ready to love someone else, because that person is not you, and that's a new learning experience. So those four steps, very, very, very pivotal.
Well, my take is on this. For one, you have to teach purity. You gotta be pure. What's the purpose? What's your purpose? Like you said, finding yourself, finding your purpose. What have you to do? What is it that you can bring to this marriage when you get together? And the last one, a lot of people do not like to do is be patient. Patience. Don't allow nobody to put a time stamp on what. Okay, you're 25, you need to be married now. No, 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 no. Don't allow nobody to do that. I've seen people that was 45, 50 got married and not good, healthy relationships and whatever in marriages. So all of this is, remember the three P's: purity, purpose, and patience. That's it. And whatever you want God to do for you, and whatever you praying for, I can tell you that it will surely happen.
Before you go, though, be sure to hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Okay.
Subscribe.
Like this episode and then go ahead and share it with your
And
friends.
share it.
Cheers.
Until next time, from the chair and set of Sitting with Shireen, this has been Shireen and the Johnsons. Thank you so much, guys.